life with so much regret that you're just gonna feel pain or keep looking back because you wish you could have done it? Welcome back to my channels. It's Carly again. I hope you have a lovely day today. Thanks for joining this video. Before this video started, I wanted to let you know that we're all in a safe place here. Look, my door is closed, there's no one here. This is all a private matters and we all can just be ourselves. The reason I said so is because I'm not a health coach, life guru coach or anything like that. It would just be you and me here and we could just talk to ourselves. And I'm not trying to be telling you what to do with your life. You're not trying to tell me what to do with my life, but we'll just be here for each other, share our stories together. It's more just so a time for you and me to connect and really talk about what our experiences is, and maybe we can learn from those stories and help each other. I thought about this for days and days. I was hesitant making these videos because one, I was worried that I would not be able to articulate it well enough, but secondly, more so that I don't want to have any sort of self-sabotaging language, because what happened in the past has already happened. We can't change it. We also can't look back and beating ourselves up over the things that we can't change anymore. We only can look forwards, right? So hopefully after these few minutes sitting together, we can actually look out for a better future, be hopeful and be faithful of ourselves and what we can actually achieve. I thought about this many times, and it's just random moments throughout the day, the month, or any moment that I have with myself that these type of thoughts start rushing back to me, is the idea of what if, what could I have done? What could I do better? Why didn't I do it? And I realized that there's a part that is being grateful for the present day, for the things that has been happening. But there's also a part when I look back and realize that, oh, I could have done this better. A part that I regret, I should have done this. And a part of learnings. And I tell you that not all the parts and not all the thoughts that I actually have was very pleasant. Not every learning experience was positive. And I try to be very positive. I try to take it all with an open heart and mind. But in reality, when things happened in the way that it could have been better, obviously you have different feelings. One of them is regret. When I was a bit younger, I always tell myself that the biggest pain in your life that you could imagine, that it's totally in your control, is regret. Try to live how that you're not gonna feel so much of it. And I think until this day, it is more relevant than ever because I'm no longer like the 18, the 21, 22 years old Carly anymore. I actually have a life now where it needs to be in a certain stage. I always thrive to be better. And I know that a lot of us do that as well. A lot of us wanting to be better. A lot of us want to have new experiences, new learning, new skills, new knowledge, or just do better of what we did the day before, which is do a little bit better ourselves. And that is a great mindset to have. But sometimes the thing is, we're human. We naturally will forget about that idea and we resort into the comfort that we have in our lives, like scrolling on our phones, being lazy, not being disciplined about any of the things that we have. And I have countless days like that because they were so comfortable and I love doing those. I love to sit there and eat my snack and scroll on my phone and just zoned out and numb. The thing is, if there is an angel Carly that always does good and there's an evil Carly that always tell me to do bad things, I know that there will be times when the angel Carly knock on my door and say, okay, that's enough laying in bed time. That's enough scrolling time. That it isn't our lazy days. It's time to do something now. And I wish that angel Carly will pop up a little bit more often so that evil Carly would just not let me sit there and just, So while we talk about things like this that happen in our life, I wanted to let you know that I'm no better than anyone else out there. I'm not like a perfect A-score student that have this perfect life and everything else. But more so for myself, later back in life, see these videos and say, okay, you could have done better 10 years ago, so do not let that happen again. And this video is more so a self-reflection of my past years, that there's so many things that I could have done. There's so many things that I promised myself, but I let that fall through. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing I've done was majorly wrong that I will just be like, Jesus, you're bad, you're this, you're that, you're lazy, you're unhealthy. There's nothing I do that crossed that line that I was saying that to myself. But at the same time, I would always say things to support the future Carly, to bring myself closer to the ideal versions of myself that I want and I know that I can do. So Simply, that's it. This video was just only time for you and me to do that. And I want to keep remind myself that don't do that again. Don't be too lazy. Don't be too laid back. Don't be too content and let the leisures and the pleasance of the numbing things, of the phone scrolling, of the bad habits, of all the comforting things, as much as it is an easier choice to make, and it's just a much nicer choice to make at the time, if it doesn't help future Carly, maybe reconsider that. And it doesn't have to be rocket science. It doesn't have to be so hard. You know, I don't have to start running 10 kilometers, or I don't have to wake up tomorrow and start having 10,000 steps every day. No, it doesn't have to be something so drastic. It's just minimum small change, positive change. 1%. 1% of me better tomorrow is already kicking goals. It's already so good. So maybe I wake up tomorrow and walk for, I don't know, 2,000 steps. That's gonna be really good. Compared to like 100 steps that I did today, I think 2,000 is a pretty solid number. But all jokes aside, be friendly with your future self and don't let regret eat you up. Don't let the feelings of regret or the questions, what if I do this, what if I did that, what if that would happen to me, don't let that lingers in your future self, because it will spiral really quickly, and it can really quickly lead to self-sabotage instead of self-motivations, instead of self-development, instead of releasing yourself and making sure you always have positive affirmations. That's definitely something I've learned lately. Other thing too is don't be too hard on yourself. I always think before that, oh my god, everybody else was a millionaire by the age of 22, 24, 26, whatever there is. Everybody can be everything. Anybody can be a millionaire. Everybody can be homeless. Comparison is so endless. Like the possibility out there, it's endless. You're never gonna be picking up one versions of anyone else and trying to compare yourself to that. The only person you can be compared to is yourself, is your past self and your future self. And what we're trying to do is to be better than our past self, trying to help our present self get closer to our future self, and that's it. I know it is easier said than done, but the first step to actually take these bloody actions is to keep reminding yourself, keep making sure that you remember what to do. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not going to be hard when you start reminding yourself and creating a habit of actually remembering it. Slowly it will eat up your subconscious mind. Slowly it will take over your subconscious mind. You'll have this idea as a baseline. You'll start doing it instead of just having it as a saying of something that you've heard somewhere, something you've heard or seen online. You actually believe in it, and you slowly will do it without any sort of active motivations or active pushes. And listen, I'm not making these videos to all tell ourselves to just hustle 100% of the time, 24/7, go. It's definitely not anything like that. It's more so to strike a healthy balance of drive and rest. If you rest too much, maybe it's time you go into drive mode. If your drive is more than your rest, you are moving forward. And that's only the reason it needs to be done. No one is asked to cure cancers tomorrow, guys. We only need to do 1% better than the day before, than the previous week, than the previous month, than the previous year, and that's it. It's not hard. So let's do it. So then the future version of yourself, do not live with regret, do not live with fear, do not live with doubts. And the most beautiful thing that comes out of every experience that I've had between my past self and my present self is that I've learned, it took me so long to learn that the more that I actually take the actions that I wanted myself to do, the more trust that I build with myself. And that is priceless. I cannot describe, like I'm not yet on that level, but I cannot describe how grateful I am discovering the benefits and the consequences of myself taking the action and trusting myself to do. It's very small. It's so small. I was just trying to tell myself waking up at 7:45 instead of 7:50, and then waking up at 7:40 instead of 7:45. Like, or just 5-minute increments. 5 minutes in the morning is very important, first of all. 5 minutes in the morning makes a huge difference. So I can be less rushy. I can just really have time to do the things that I need, not forgetting things when I walk out of the door. I also wanted to make sure that I build a routine that I can adapt on and stick to it. That's the hard part. Make sure myself sticking to it was impossible before. I could never stick to her schedules. Like anyone out there that can, congratulations. And I'm jealous of you because I don't know how and why I just cannot. So I try to stick to a schedules that I can tolerate and I can build and stick with it to build a healthy habit. I wanted to journal every night, just like one page. Just build a habit of having one page. And the thing is, by the 21st time you actually do it, just keep forcing yourself until by the 21st day that you actually have that habit factors in your life, it's gonna become natural. This has been scientifically proven. Like, I'm not saying this out of thin air. You can Google this and there will be millions of results showing you that this has been proven from years ago. 21 days is the amount of day to build a habit or to build a routine. 21 days is the amount of time a person needs to build a routine. Everything is written out for us, guys. It's not hard. We can totally do this. I think that each of us, we all have different goals and dream and timeline and this ideal, these visions that we have for ourselves. And I think that we all can get it. I think that with just a little bit of focus and discipline, everybody can get what they want in life. The key is to do not quit, right? The key is to do not stop, to do not quit. I love that quote when it says that, because this is a bit cheesy now when I start saying quotes, but it's so helpful. The quotes go, you do not fail if you don't quit. Like, take a second to actually absorb all of that in. If you just keep going and never quit, never stopped permanently on doing that same actions, you'll succeed eventually. You will. Like, it might take a long time. It might take a few days. It might take a few years. Who knows? But you're actually gonna make it. I strongly believe in that. I don't know why, but I have this very intense or addictive personality where if I think of something or see something that I really want to do, I would go all in for it. I would go 110% is on it, days and night, and I would not sleep. I would make sure that I grind every minute to make sure that it happens. This happened so many times with my side hustle, like it was all over the place. But then the next day, I can just completely drop it off. I just quit. I'll just be like, I'm done. I've had enough of it. I've gone through the peak. I've gone through the hardest part. So now I deserve rest. But then I rested too much. It becomes quitting. And that's how it's always a failure story, because I did get a lot of experience out of it. But going too hardcore at one things and then quickly dropped it off after, leading me to quitting, leading to me not actually success in anything that I did. While I'm very appreciative of the learning lessons and the experiences and the knowledge that I actually gained, thinking back now, I wish that I could have just stayed, because those decisions were made really abruptly. It was made one night, okay, I'm gonna do this, and that's it. Months after, that's the only thing I'm gonna do, going all in on it, just so that it can drop off the day after, like nothing ever happened. Like I've never wanted it. And I don't think that's, personally, I don't think that's healthy. It's very 0 to hundreds, like that's not sustainable. And I like something stable and sustainable. I like something to be part of me. Like if it's a good thing, I want it to be part of me permanently. Or at least for years, that it actually matters in my life. I want it to be a part of me. I want it to be my traits, like a good trait, a characteristic, a personality. Anyways, you get the ideas, right? You get the ideas. So I hope that we all, after today, have these ideas reigniting yourself of whatever that you wanted to do. Maybe a good habit, maybe a good routine, a good step towards it, that you're actually wanting to do it for a long time, but for whatever reason, you know, like active reason, passive reasons, the one that you can control, the one you can't control, whatever it is that you wanted to do, the time to do it is now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the day after. Don't wait for just 5 minutes. Just do it now. Do it now, get a taste of it. Making sure that you're comfortable with everything. Making sure that that's the right decisions for you. Making sure that that's something that you want to pursue long term. Helping you, drive you, becoming the better version. To become the better version of yourself, and just do it. I hope that we all have the drive and the fire in ourselves to actually do it. Do it, see how it goes, reevaluate it after. It doesn't really hurt, and just keep doing it until you find something that you can actually stick to it. Make sure you pursue it consistently, and hopefully one day, very soon, we all see the beautiful fruit that is actually there. Knowing that along the way there's a lot of people similar age, younger, olders out there are trying to do the same thing with you. Hopefully you found your community. If you don't, come back here, we can chat, we can do it together, you can share your experience. I'm not expertise at a lot of the things, but at the same time I would always understood the journey once going through to actually try to achieve the better version of themselves professionally, personally, mentally, spiritually. I can confidently say that I've gone through it enough that I can actually share my experiences back with you, and we're just exchanging information. There's no harm in that. I hope you know that whether you're doing alone or with friends, with your communities, you are doing it not for anyone's self-benefit or anyone else's recognitions of you, but yourself and the future self that you want to support. And that is the most beautiful things that anyone can do for themselves. That is literally a gift. No one can take that from you, and no one can do that for you. That's it for today. I hope that you guys find a lot of calm and peace and drive to actually take action today, and motivation to do a lot of the things you guys want to do. I hope that we all become the best friend to our future selves. Don't worry about what has actually happened in the past. I know it might be really hard to look at sometimes, but at the same time, it's already happened. We can't change it. We can only learn from it and move forward. So hopefully everybody have a wonderful day. I hope you wake up refreshed and feel happy tomorrow. Get ready to jump right into it. Do whatever you need to do. Share our experience together. Hopefully we can learn a lot from each other. And that's it. Love you guys.